Have you ever sat down with a warm, comforting bowl of oatmeal, thinking you were doing something good for your body, only to find out later it might not be helping you as much as you thought? I know how that feels. For most of us over 60, we've heard for years that oatmeal is one of the healthiest breakfasts you can eat. And honestly, it can be. It is full of fiber, helps lower cholesterol, and keeps us feeling full. But here's the thing no one really talks about. Oatmeal is only healthy when it is prepared the right way. After the age of 60, our digestion slows down, our inflammation levels can rise more easily, and the way our body handles certain foods can change. That means a few simple oatmeal habits, things we have been doing for years without thinking, might actually be working against us. In this video, I am going to walk you through 7 common mistakes older adults make with oatmeal, and more importantly, how to fix them. These are not complicated changes, but they can make a big difference in how your body feels every day. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to make your oatmeal truly support your digestion, your energy, your heart, and your long-term health. Mistake number 1, reheating old oatmeal. Let's start with something a lot of people do without thinking twice. Reheating leftover oatmeal. You might make a big batch on Monday, store it in the fridge, and scoop out a portion to microwave each morning. It feels like a smart habit. Less work, less waste, and you still get something warm and hearty in your belly. But here's the problem. After the age of 60, our digestion becomes more sensitive. Our immune system is not as quick to fight off bacteria. And certain food storage habits that were fine in our 40s or 50s, they can quietly start to work against us in our 60s and beyond. When oatmeal is left in the fridge for too long, especially if it contains milk, sugar, or fruit, it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. Even when stored properly, the nutrients in the oats begin to oxidize, meaning they break down in a way that's not good for your body. Then when you heat it up again, especially in the microwave, you risk forming something called advanced glycation end products. These are harmful compounds that can promote inflammation, damage cells, and contribute to aging-related conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. And the worst part is you may not notice anything right away. No bad smell, no weird taste. But over time, it adds up. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 76 years old and lives by himself. Every Monday, he would make a giant pot of oatmeal and keep it in the fridge for the whole week. He thought he was being healthy and efficient, but he started to feel bloated, tired. His digestion felt off. Doctors ran tests, but everything looked normal. It wasn't until he talked with a nutritionist that they uncovered the truth. It was the leftover oatmeal. Once Frank switched to making smaller, fresh portions each morning, or using overnight oats instead, his symptoms slowly disappeared. His energy came back. No more bloating. And he didn't have to give up his favorite breakfast. So what can you do? Make only what you plan to eat in one sitting. If you do store oatmeal, place it in a clean, airtight container and refrigerate it right away. Do not let it sit at room temperature. And when you reheat, skip the microwave. Gently warm it on the stovetop over low heat. Or even better, try overnight oats. Just soak rolled oats in milk or yogurt in the fridge overnight. Add fruit, nuts, or a little cinnamon in the morning. No cooking needed, and it's gentle on your digestion. A few small changes can make a big difference, especially as we get older. Oatmeal should support your health, not quietly work against it. Mistake number 2, adding too much sugar. Now let's talk about something sweet. Too sweet, in fact. Oatmeal is often bland on its own, so it makes sense that people want to dress it up a bit. A little brown sugar here, a drizzle of honey there, maybe some flavored creamer or syrup. It tastes better, it reminds us of childhood, and it makes breakfast feel like a treat. But here's the thing. Adding too much sugar to your oatmeal can turn a healthy choice into a health risk, especially after 60. Why? because added sugar causes your blood sugar to spike. That sudden rise forces your body to pump out insulin to bring levels back down. Over time, this repeated stress wears out your system and can lead to insulin resistance, weight gain, energy crashes, and eventually type 2 diabetes. And it doesn't stop there. Excess sugar feeds inflammation throughout the body. It damages your blood vessels, puts stress on your heart, and may even increase your risk for certain cancers, particularly in the colon and pancreas. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 72 and started her day with a big bowl of oatmeal every morning. But she also added several spoonfuls of brown sugar, a splash of sweetened creamer, and sometimes even maple syrup. It felt comforting, and honestly, she believed she was making a healthy choice, but by mid-morning, she always felt tired, foggy, and sluggish. Her doctor noticed her blood sugar creeping up, even though her diet looked pretty good on paper. Then Margaret started learning about natural ways to sweeten her oatmeal. She began topping it with sliced bananas, cinnamon, and a few fresh berries. She added walnuts for crunch and a bit of protein. Within weeks, her energy improved. Her blood sugar became more stable. And she didn't miss the extra sugar one bit. Mistake number 3, cooking oatmeal too hot, too fast. Next up, let's talk about how you cook your oatmeal. Most people think the faster the better. Crank up the heat, toss it in the microwave, get it done and move on. But when it comes to oats, rushing can actually backfire. Cooking oatmeal too quickly at high temperatures, especially in the microwave, can cause the nutrients to break down and even produce unwanted chemical changes. One of those changes is called the Maillard reaction. It happens when sugars and proteins combine under high heat, creating compounds that are tasty but not always healthy. These compounds can include something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. You might remember those from earlier. They're linked to inflammation, joint stiffness, and damage to your skin and blood vessels over time. Even if your oatmeal doesn't look burnt, cooking it too fast can still cause invisible harm. Let me introduce you to Stanley. He's 68 and very routine-oriented. Every morning, he microwaved his oatmeal on full power for 2 minutes. It was quick, easy, and part of his healthy lifestyle, until his doctor noticed signs of chronic inflammation. They looked into his diet, and the high-heat microwave cooking stood out. Stanley was skeptical at first, but he gave it a try. He started cooking his oats slowly on the stovetop over medium heat, using enough water to keep things soft. He added a pinch of cinnamon and stirred gently. Within a few weeks, his joint pain eased, his digestion improved, and he said the flavor was even better than before. So here's your take-home tip. Cook low and slow. Use rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Use enough liquid, usually 2 parts water to 1 part oats. Cook over low to medium heat. If you use a microwave, drop the power to 50 or 60% and stir every 30 to 60 seconds. And always give it time to cool slightly before eating. Your oats will thank you, and so will your body. Mistake number 4, using artificial sweeteners. Let's talk about something a lot of us have turned to with good intentions: artificial sweeteners. For years, we've been told to cut sugar to protect our hearts, manage weight, and avoid diabetes. And that's smart advice. But in place of sugar, many folks over 60 turn to little packets of zero-calorie sweeteners, pink, blue, or yellow, thinking they're doing their bodies a favor. But here's what most people do not realize. Artificial sweeteners might be causing more harm than good, especially when it comes to your digestion, your gut health, and even your long-term inflammation levels. These sweeteners, things like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, might not have calories, but they still send signals to your body. And those signals can confuse your system. They may lead to more sugar cravings, irregular digestion, and even interfere with your body's ability to manage blood sugar properly. One of the biggest concerns is how these sweeteners affect your gut microbiome. That's the community of good bacteria in your digestive system that helps you absorb nutrients, fight off illness, and regulate inflammation. New research shows that artificial sweeteners can throw off that balance, leading to something called dysbiosis, an unhealthy shift in your gut bacteria. That imbalance can show up in different ways: bloating, constipation, fatigue, or just not feeling right after meals. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 74 and had been using artificial sweeteners in her oatmeal for over 10 years. She thought it was the healthiest option, one little pink packet every morning. But over time, she started feeling bloated after breakfast. Her energy was low, and blood tests showed her inflammation markers were higher than expected, even though she was eating clean and walking daily. Her nutritionist suggested she drop the sweeteners and go back to natural ingredients. Eleanor switched to fresh blueberries, banana slices, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Just like that, no more bloating. Her energy started picking up again, and at her next checkup, her doctor was pleasantly surprised by her numbers. So here's what you can do. If you want to sweeten your oatmeal, choose real, natural options. A small handful of fresh berries adds sweetness and antioxidants. Half a banana adds creaminess and natural sugar that your body knows how to process. A teaspoon of real honey or maple syrup used occasionally is far better than chemical substitutes. You can also build flavor without sweetness. Cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla extract all give depth and warmth without affecting your blood sugar. As we get older, our bodies deserve better than artificial. They deserve real food, gentle, nourishing, and supportive from the inside out. Mistake number 5, skipping protein in your oatmeal. Let's move on to a mistake that might not seem obvious at first, but it plays a big role in how your body feels throughout the day. And that mistake is eating oatmeal without enough protein. Oatmeal gives you fiber, complex carbohydrates, and warmth in the morning. That's all good. But if you eat it without any added protein, you may notice that you feel hungry again by mid-morning. Or worse, you feel sluggish, foggy, or irritable just an hour or two after breakfast. Why does this happen? Because oatmeal by itself is mostly carbohydrates. That means your body digests it fairly quickly, especially if it's a simpler kind like instant or quick oats. Without protein to balance things out, your blood sugar goes up fast, then drops, not only leaving you hungry, but also putting stress on your metabolism. And here's something even more important. After the age of 60, our bodies naturally lose muscle. It's a slow process, but if we don't get enough protein, especially in the morning, it gets harder to stay strong, mobile, and independent. Let me introduce you to Harold. He's 70 years old and pretty active. He walks every day, does a little gardening, and starts his morning with a nice bowl of oatmeal. But for years, that oatmeal was just oats, a little almond milk, and fruit. No protein. Over time, he noticed he was losing strength. He'd get tired on walks that used to be easy. His doctor mentioned age-related muscle loss and asked about his diet. Harold decided to make one simple change. He started adding a spoonful of peanut butter to his oatmeal. Some mornings, he added a boiled egg on the side or a scoop of plain Greek yogurt. Within weeks, he noticed his energy returning. He felt more full after breakfast and his muscles didn't fatigue as quickly. So here's what you can do. Add a source of protein to your oatmeal every morning. Here are a few easy options. 1 to 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter or almond butter. A scoop of protein powder if you use supplements. Chia seeds or ground flax seeds, which also give you fiber and omega-3 fats. A dollop of Greek yogurt stirred in a handful of nuts like walnuts or almonds, or even just a boiled egg or slice of turkey on the side. Protein helps keep your blood sugar stable, supports your muscles, and keeps you full longer, so you are not reaching for snacks before lunch. When you start your day with the right balance, your body feels it. And at this stage in life, that balance makes all the difference. Mistake number 6, choosing instant oatmeal packets. Let's be honest, most of us like things that are fast, easy, and convenient. And in today's world, who can blame us? That's why for years, many people over 60 have reached for those small instant oatmeal packets you find in every grocery store. You know the ones: apple cinnamon, maple brown sugar, peaches, and cream. Just tear open the package, add hot water or pop it in the microwave, and breakfast is ready in 2 minutes. It seems like the perfect solution, a warm bowl of oats in no time. And the packaging even says things like heart healthy or made with whole grains, so you feel good about eating it. But here's the part they don't advertise. Most instant oatmeal packets are highly processed, packed with added sugar, and stripped of the very nutrients that make oats healthy in the first place. You see, not all oats are created equal. There are steel-cut oats, which are the least processed. Then rolled oats, which are flattened but still whole grain. And finally, instant oats, which are pre-cooked, chopped up, and processed to cook fast. That processing breaks down the structure of the grain, so when you eat it, your body digests it almost immediately. That might sound like a good thing, but it's not. Fast digestion leads to quick blood sugar spikes, which is especially dangerous if you're managing type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, or simply trying to keep your energy stable. After that spike comes the crash, and you're left feeling sluggish, hungry again, or shaky just an hour or two later. Let me tell you about Carolyn, who's 67 and lives in Oregon. For over 5 years, she started her morning with instant oatmeal. Maple and brown sugar was her favorite. She didn't add anything to it, didn't think she needed to. It was quick, warm, and comforting, but by mid-morning, she was always tired. She found herself reaching for snacks even before lunch. She also noticed she was slowly gaining weight, even though her portions seemed small. She went for a checkup and her doctor flagged some blood sugar concerns. That's when her granddaughter, who was studying nutrition, suggested switching to real oats, rolled oats, or steel cut. Carolyn gave it a try. She started cooking rolled oats on the stove, adding cinnamon, chopped apples, and a splash of almond milk. It took 10 minutes. Not bad. And within just a few weeks, she felt different. Her energy was steady. Her clothes fit better. Her cravings between meals disappeared. And perhaps most importantly, she felt in control of her mornings again. So what can you do? Avoid flavored instant oatmeal packets, even the healthy-looking ones. Most of them are loaded with sugar. Some have as much as 12 grams per serving, which is 3 teaspoons before you even add fruit or toppings. Instead, choose old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Yes, they take longer to cook, but your body will thank you. They're full of fiber, digest slowly, and won't leave you crashing an hour later. And if you're short on time, cook a big batch of steel-cut oats once a week, keep it in the fridge, and each morning just scoop out a portion, warm it on the stove with a little milk or water, and top it how you like. You can even freeze single servings in small containers for busy days. The best part? You get to control what goes in, how sweet it is, how much fiber or fruit you want, and what flavor you enjoy. Oatmeal can still be fast and easy, but when it's also real, nourishing, and made with love, it becomes a true gift to your body, not just a quick fix. Mistake number 7, eating oatmeal that's too hot or too cold. Now, this one might catch you off guard. When we think about food and health, we focus on ingredients. What to eat, what not to eat, how much sugar, how much fat. But what if the temperature of your food was just as important? Yes, you heard that right. After 60, your digestive system becomes more sensitive to extremes, especially when it comes to temperature. And that brings us to mistake number 7, eating your oatmeal too hot or too cold. Let's start with the too hot. We've all done it. You pull your bowl from the microwave or stovetop, steam is rising, and you dig in because you're hungry. But eating food that's steaming hot, scalding hot even, can actually irritate your esophagus, inflame your stomach lining, and trigger acid reflux, especially in older adults. If you've ever felt a burning sensation in your chest after eating, or discomfort in your stomach, not long after a hot meal, the temperature could be the cause. This is especially true if you already struggle with reflux, gastritis, or a sensitive gut. Now let's flip to the other extreme, cold oatmeal. Overnight oats have become very popular and with good reason. They're easy to make ahead of time and don't require cooking. But eating them straight from the fridge, ice cold, can be hard on older digestive systems. Cold food slows digestion and may cause bloating, cramping, or that heavy feeling that lingers long after breakfast. Let me share the story of Dolores, age 71, from North Carolina. She loved overnight oats, made them every evening with rolled oats, milk, and fruit. But every morning she'd feel bloated afterward. Her stomach would make noises. She never felt quite right, even though the ingredients were all healthy. Then her daughter, a nurse practitioner, suggested warming the oats just a little in the morning or letting them sit at room temperature for 10 to 15 minutes before eating. Dolores tried it. She set her bowl out while she made her coffee. By the time she sat down to eat, the oats were cool, not cold, and much easier on her stomach. No more bloating, no more heavy feeling, just a comfortable, satisfying start to the day. Here's the takeaway. Your oatmeal should be comfortably warm, not piping hot, not straight from the fridge cold. Let hot oatmeal cool for 5 to 10 minutes before eating. And if you're eating cold oats, like overnight oats, let them sit out for a few minutes or gently warm them with a splash of milk or water. Want to support digestion even more? Try adding spices that naturally warm the body, like cinnamon or ginger. They not only taste great, but they help soothe the digestive system. It's a small change, a quiet one. But at this stage in life, it's often the gentle changes that bring the biggest relief. After all, food isn't just fuel. It's how we care for ourselves, body and soul. And the temperature on your spoon, it just might be the detail your body's been waiting for you to notice. Before we go, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. If you're still here, that tells me something very important. You care about your health, and you're willing to make small changes that can make a big difference. The truth is, oatmeal can absolutely be one of the healthiest breakfasts out there, but only when we prepare it in a way that supports the needs of our bodies, especially as we age. We've covered 7 simple mistakes today. None of them are hard to fix. They're not expensive, and they don't require a fancy diet plan. They just take a little awareness and a little love for the body that's carried you this far. So now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you learned today that surprised you? Was it about blood sugar spikes from added sugar? Maybe it was how instant oats digest too fast. Or maybe you're ready to stop reheating your oatmeal and try overnight oats instead. Whatever it is, leave a comment below and share your takeaway. When you do, it not only helps me, it helps others in our community who might be struggling with the same things. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, Elders Insight. We create videos every week to help you live stronger, feel better, and stay informed without the overwhelm. And remember this, health is not about being perfect. It's about paying attention, about making better choices. One meal, one morning, one small decision at a time. Your oatmeal can be more than breakfast. It can be the start of a healthier day and a healthier you. Thanks for watching. Take good care of yourself. You deserve it.